Well, Ken called it last night, the game after the game.
This is the game after the game. It's almost as much fun. We have more controversy, more action, and sometimes more hitting than we had on New Year's Day. In the decade of the 80s, you know, 7 different teams won national championships. Well, 2 years into the 90s, we already have 4. Georgia Tech and Colorado last year, and Miami and Washington this time around. In the closest voting in the history of the Associated Press poll, the Miami Hurricanes held on to #1 by just 4 points over fellow unbeaten Washington. Penn State, FSU, and Alabama finished 3, 4, and 5. And in the coaches poll by CNN and USA Today, the only difference is the Huskies finished on top by 9 points. Now, Washington had come close before, but they made sure the Rose Bowl against Michigan was nowhere even close. Quarterback Billy Joe Hobart ran for a score, threw for 2 more as the Huskies built on a 13-7 halftime lead. And backup Mark Brunell put it out of reach with this bomb to Super Mario Bailey. Bailey didn't get the Heisman, but his Huskies did get a national championship trophy, and it's a title their coach doesn't mind sharing.
For them not to get a piece of this would have been a tragedy. I'm delighted. I don't mind sharing it. Miami's got a great team. We've got a great team, and everybody argue forever about who's the best. That doesn't matter.
Interestingly enough, Don James played quarterback at the University of Miami. And after their 22-0 romp over Nebraska in the Orange Bowl last night, the Canes don't think anybody should have a piece of their 4th championship in 9 years. Here's our Rick Blackwell.
Leave it to the Canes to blow some smoke about who should be #1.
We're 12-0. We're #1. We won it tonight. We won big tonight. Hey, we're #1. There's no doubt in my mind or his mind or anybody's mind here tonight who the best team in America is.
But there are plenty who disagree with Fort Myers' own Kelvin Harris. Fans everywhere are arguing whether the Canes or Huskies are the better team.
Obviously, I think our team's #1. I vote in the coaches poll, and I'm going to vote us 1 and Washington 2. And I'm sure Don's going to do the same thing, vote us 1 and Washington 2. No, I'm just kidding.
If you think as a fan you're frustrated, just imagine these players and coaches. They worked their entire lives in weight rooms and practice fields to achieve greatness. Now, after an undefeated season, their fate is put in the hands of a small circle of sports writers. Players like Rusty Medeiros want to settle the score themselves.
Oh, I'd love to play. I'd play him. I'd fight him in a telephone booth. I don't care. I'd play him anytime. I'd play him right now. We'll go with a doubleheader.
The whole country would love to see that, especially Nebraska players who played both Miami and Washington this season.
They both evenly matched that you really can't tell who the better team. You know, you just have to let them play against each other. On a neutral site, you know, it'll be a great game, I tell you.
The debate aside, Miami's 12-0 season and 3rd title in 5 years is an incredible accomplishment. From the Orange Bowl, Rick Blackwell, Wink Sports.
And the Canes will return almost everyone from this team next year and have a chance to be the first repeat champ since Alabama in '79. Let's look at the rest of the top of the AP top 25 real quick. Michigan 6th, the Gators drop to 7th, and it's Cal, East Carolina, and Iowa. Syracuse is 11th, Texas A&M 12th, and it's Notre Dame, Tennessee, Nebraska. Oklahoma 16th, then come Georgia, Clemson, UCLA, and Colorado. 10-2 Tulsa is number 21, and Stanford, BYU, NC State, and Air Force round things out. But there is still a controversy here. It just won't die. So we had to check one more poll to find the true champion. All right, we have a tie in the AP and the CNN USA Today polls. Time to break it with the UPS poll. Dave Conrad, this is your big chance. Who do you like as #1, Miami or Washington?
I will have to say the University of Miami Hurricanes.
And why is that?
Because I'm a Cane fan, and also because of the competition. They played a tougher schedule, I think, and they're just my team.
So there you have it. The AP poll says Miami. The CNN USA Today poll says Washington. The UPS poll says Miami. The great thing about the UPS poll, it's the only poll where its voters make $17.50 an hour. Maybe they should pay the guys in the other polls. Maybe we get a little more consensus.
I'm sure Dave was happy to hear about that. All right, thanks a lot, Ken.